Two brothers are locked in a brutal deathmatch at the gates of Kishkindha. Then, without warning, a brilliant glowing arrow tears through the canopy and strikes King Vali from the shadows. The archer in the trees is Lord Rama, a figure defined by his unwavering commitment to the laws of righteousness. Yet by striking an unaware opponent from behind, he is violating the very codes of war he has sworn to protect. To understand the strike, we have to look at the target. King Vali possessed the strength of 1,000 elephants, but his true defense was a divine boon. Any direct opponent had half their strength drained into his own body. A challenger begins at 50% capacity against a king at 150%. In a direct duel, Vali is an unsolvable problem. His physical dominance was total. Every morning, Vali would cross the entire subcontinent, traversing from the western to the eastern seas, simply to offer his prayers before the sun reached the peaks. Because Vali was physically invincible, Rama's choice to strike from the shadows forces us to look past the surface of the myth. We have to determine if this was a failure of character or a calculated necessity of justice. The roots of this conflict go back 1 year, to the day Vali and his brother Sugriva chased the demon Mayavi into a subterranean cave. Sugriva stood guard at the entrance for 12 months. When a stream of blood flowed from the cave and the roars of battle went silent, he reached a grim conclusion. His brother was dead, and the demon had won. To protect the kingdom from the monster he believed was coming for them, Sugriva rolled a massive stone over the cave mouth, sealing it shut before returning home. But Vali was still alive. He had killed the demon, and the blood Sugriva saw belonged to his enemy. When Vali finally returned to the surface and found the exit blocked, he shattered the seal, convinced his brother had tried to bury him alive to seize the throne. Driven by a belief in his brother's betrayal, Vali ignored every explanation. He viciously bait Sugriva and exiled him from the city, turning a tragic accident into a blood feud. Sugriva fled to Mount Rishamukha. It was his only sanctuary because of a specific curse. If Vali ever stepped foot on these hills, his head would instantly shatter. Vali's fall began when his ego overrode his empathy. By choosing vengeance over the truth, he set in motion a series of events that his physical strength could not stop. The dispute turned into a crime when Vali forcibly took Sugriva's wife, Rama, and kept her as his own. This act crossed a moral line. In the laws of the era, claiming a brother's wife by force was a violation of the cosmic order. It mirrored the actions of the demon Ravana, who had stolen Rama's own wife, Sita. When the wandering prince Rama arrived at the mountain, he saw a mirror of his own struggle. He and Sugriva formed a pact. Rama would remove the tyrant Vali, and the Vanara army would find Sita. Sugriva remained doubtful. He showed Rama the mountain-sized skeleton of the demon Dundubi, a creature Vali had once thrown miles with a single hand. He needed proof that a man could kill a godlike warrior. Rama answered by firing a single arrow that pierced 7 massive sal trees in a row before returning to his quiver. The message was clear. Rama possessed a level of precision that bypassed the need for brute force. This map illustrates the tactical reality. Due to the absorption radius of Vali's boon, a direct duel guarantees loss. Victory requires an attack from outside this influence. To distinguish identical brothers, Sugriva wore a Gaj Pushpi garland, allowing the archer to identify his target. The stealth strike was a surgical bypass for an unbreakable biological weapon. Rama chose the only path that didn't automatically hand half his tower to his target. As Vali lies in the dust of Kishkindha, he demands an answer. He accuses Rama of abandoning a king's ethics by hiding in the trees. Rama's response is rooted in a specific legal logic. The honorable rules of combat only apply to those who maintain their own honor. He points to Vali's treatment of Rama as proof the king had abandoned the social contract. By treating a family member as property and reacting with animal rage, Vali had stepped outside the protections of human law. Rama's logic is cold and legalistic. A king who abandons human reason for animal impulse forfeits the protections of civilization and is hunted as such. Faced with this moral indictment, Vali's defiance breaks. His physical strength, his greatest pride, offers no defense against the truth of his corruption. Looking up from the dust, Vali recognizes the archer's identity. The anger drains away, replaced by the realization that his death is the only possible resolution for the path he chose. In his final moments, Vali attempts to settle his debts. He returns Ruma to her husband, entrusts the care of his son Angad to Sugriva, and allows his spirit to find peace. The tragedy of Kishkindha proves that physical supremacy is hollow without the restraint of the soul. Leadership demands the strength to overcome an enemy and the vigilance to ensure you haven't become one yourself.